What a great joy to see so many of you here tonight, this Ash Wednesday evening. It's been like this all day long. Our first Mass was 7:30 a.m. and the church was just as filled as it is tonight. Then we had a couple of scripture services at 12 noon and 5 p.m. and also almost filled. In the afternoon, we had over 2 hours of people just walking in. The lines were all the way out the church. And also we had Bishop Gorman High School here at 9:30, and those 1,600 students filled the church, along with about 100 faculty and administration. A wonderful way to the beginning of Lent. I hope this is just the first of many days that you observe Lent in a very prayerful, devotional way. So when Lent is about to start, maybe the last couple of days before today, I'm sure some of your Catholic friends, or maybe some members of your family, or maybe some of your non-Catholic friends, ask you that question. Many of us hear every year, what are you going to do for Lent? And we have many different answers. But as I preface the gospel tonight, Jesus tells us what we're supposed to do. We call them the 3 disciplines of Lent. One of those is prayer. And Jesus made an emphasis on all 3 disciplines. Don't be showy. Don't do things just for people to notice you. He said you got your reward. You got the attention you wanted, so big deal. But devotions, like prayer, is one of the most important things to do during Lent. And I congratulate you for beginning here tonight with this prayer called the Eucharist. And there's so many ways that we can pray. Certainly this building offers many opportunities. The church itself is open every day at 6:30 in the morning until 8:30 at night. You can pray inside the church, and even outside of Lent. Almost every day I see people scattered around here throughout the day when I walk back and forth to my car, to the office, and so on. We have a very special place of prayer, the Eucharistic Chapel, open those same hours, 6:30 a.m. to 8:30 p.m. During Lent, it's a wonderful devotion to pray the Stations of the Cross. They begin out that way on the outside of the church, going around the church, ending up over there. And that's open 24 hours a day. Our driveways are never locked. And there's a bench before each station where you can sit down and simply meditate on one of the Stations of the Cross. We have Mass every morning, Monday through Saturday at 7:30 a.m. Of course, the additional weekend Masses. We're going to have a penance service during the season of Lent, so you can have the opportunity to go to confession. Every Friday night in Lent, we're going to have Stations of the Cross at 6 p.m. But you don't have to come to this building to pray. You can pray anywhere. You know, I've told you so many times, the first thing you get up in the morning, make the sign of the cross. The things that you do routinely, like brushing your teeth and combing your hair and taking a shower, why not make that a prayer time? Prayers don't have to be long. They don't have to be poetic and beautifully phrased. Prayers from the heart, they're the best kind. Pray when you're driving. God knows we need to pray when we're on 215. Pray that we make it to our destination alive. And try to be patient. Patience, I think, is a very special type of prayer. Slow down. Be still. And know that God is here. That's what Lent is all about. A second discipline of Lent is fasting. Now, today is the day of fast. That means you're not supposed to have any meat today. Now, if you had meat and forgot about it, big deal. It's not a sin you forgot. You didn't willfully eat meat. But for the rest of the day, and at least till midnight tonight, no meat. Also, fasting is, abstinence is no meat. Abstinence is no meat. And besides today, all the Fridays of Lent, including Good Friday, abstaining from meat. And again, that's if you're in good health. Abstinence is having few meals, tiny meals, kind of like spiritual dieting. Only 2 days of fasting during Lent, today and Good Friday. But that means you can still do it on your own any day of the week. Another way of looking at fasting is giving up. Just as you give up lots of food on fasting days, what else can you give up? You know, people often talk about what you're going to give up for Lent, and they say, I'm going to give up desserts, I'm going to give up sweets, I'm going to give up smoking, I'm going to give up alcohol, and so on. And all that's good. And if you can do it for 40 days until Easter Sunday, April 20th, congratulations. You have great willpower, great self-restraint. And if you miss a day, big deal. Again, these aren't commandments. These aren't sin matters at all. But you always hear me say every Lent, how about giving up something that makes you a better person? How about giving up gossip? How about giving up laziness? How about giving up procrastination? There's so many things in our lives that we can give up that we should start working on that during Lent and continue it the rest of our lives. Again, every Lent you hear me give some example of giving things up for Lent and then going hog wild on Easter Sunday. So let's say you're going to give up gossip for Lent. So for 40 days Lent, you don't have a word of gossip, but on Easter Sunday, boy, I got 40 days of the juiciest gossip you've ever heard. Then Lent was a stupid exercise. It was a waste of time, a mistake. So look into your lives. See, what changes can I make? Lent is an annual pilgrimage, as I said on Sunday, an annual journey the church gives us every year to make ourselves better, more Christ-like. We'll never get perfect. That's impossible. But we can be better year by year. May Lent 2025 be a spiritual journey for you, so that by Easter you can say, truly, I am more like Christ than I used to be. And the final discipline of Lent is almsgiving, and that means being charitable. Certainly we ask you to be charitable in our Sunday collections, also the food collections. Several times a year, I remind you, before you pick up those keys to get in your car, go back to your cupboard, go back to your pantries, and get some food and put it in these bins. But you can be charitable in other ways. How about giving up things you don't need? Clothes. Do you have enough clothes in your closet? I've heard a rule of thumb, if you haven't worn something for 2 years, you probably don't need it. But someone else might. Homeless people here in our city. Now, we don't have room to store clothes, so we can't take your clothes here, but there's Salvation Army, there's Catholic Charities, there's Goodwill Industries, many parking lots around grocery stores. I see, clothing bins there, and other things as well. Maybe get rid of some of the things, some of the clutter in our life. Another way of be almsgiving is give yourself to others. Think back of the quality time I presume you spent at Christmas with family and friends, and at Thanksgiving. Maybe at Easter, but that's 40-some days away. How about during Lent, just giving of yourself to others? Quality time. Cut out some of the clutter in your life, some of the business life, and just give, give, give. So those are the 3 disciplines of Lent: prayer, fasting, giving up, and almsgiving.